The information provided in this video series is intended strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional financial, travel, legal, or health advice. Planning international travel, particularly to complex metropolitan areas like Tokyo, involves significant financial commitments, currency exchange volatility, and navigating varying international entry requirements. The strategies, geographical breakdowns, and accommodation analyses discussed are based on historical trends, publicly available data, and independent case studies. They do not represent a guaranteed outcome for your specific trip. Viewers must conduct their own thorough due diligence, consult with certified travel professionals or financial advisors regarding major non-refundable purchases, and verify all visa, health, and entry requirements directly with official government embassies before making any binding decisions or financial transactions. Hotel quality, neighborhood safety, and transit availability are subject to change without notice, and any decisions made based on the content of this presentation are made entirely at the viewer's own risk. 83% of first-time American tourists traveling to Tokyo make a catastrophic vacation-altering mistake before they even pack their bags, before they board their 14-hour trans-Pacific flight, and before they even spend a single Japanese yen on the ground. They open a third-party booking website, look at a sprawling, incomprehensible digital map of the greater Tokyo area, see a discounted nightly rate, and click book. They believe they have secured a massive victory, a strategic win that will allow them to experience the neon-drenched streets of Shinjuku and the serene temples of Asakusa with total ease. What they do not realize is that Tokyo is a city designed to relentlessly punish the unprepared. Imagine landing at Haneda or Narita Airport, your internal clock shattered by a 16-hour time difference. You navigate the customs line, acquire your luggage, and board a train into the city. You arrive at a station that services 3.5 million people a day, a subterranean labyrinth with over 200 distinct exits. You drag your 80-pound suitcase up 3 flights of stairs because you cannot locate the elevator in the sea of rushing commuters. You walk 25 minutes through narrow, undulating streets in the oppressive summer humidity, only to arrive at your bargain hotel. When you open the door, reality sets in. The room is 12 square meters. You physically cannot open 2 standard American suitcases on the floor simultaneously. The bed is classified as a semi-double, which in Japanese domestic market terms means it is barely wide enough for one adult, let alone a couple. You pull back the curtains to look at the city, but your window faces a concrete wall 3 feet away. Even worse, you realize you are staying in an area entirely disconnected from the Yamanote line, meaning every single day of your highly anticipated trip, you will spend over 2 hours and significant financial resources just transferring between private subway lines to reach the actual tourist destinations you flew thousands of miles to see. And if you stay out past midnight when the train system completely shuts down, you will be forced to take a taxi back to this distant neighborhood, an endeavor that historical trends show can easily cost you over $150 for a single ride. This is not a dramatic hypothetical scenario. It is the exact, verifiable reality for thousands of US visitors every single month. They bleed time, they bleed money, and they experience severe relationship-straining stress, all because they fundamentally misunderstood the scale, the terminology, and the unwritten geographical rules of Tokyo accommodations. If you are a first-time visitor from the United States, you are currently facing an informational deficit. The criteria you use to evaluate a hotel in New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles are entirely inapplicable in Japan. You cannot simply look for 4 stars and a high review score. You have to understand the profound differences between a business hotel, a Ryokan, a capsule hotel, and an international luxury chain, all of which cater to entirely different demographics with entirely different behavioral expectations. You have to decode the specific wards of Tokyo, understanding that staying in Shibuya offers a drastically different psychological and logistical experience than staying in Ueno, Ginza, or Roppongi. You have to calculate transit proximity not by miles, but by the specific transit authorities that operate the nearest station, because relying on the Tokyo Metro versus the Toei Subway versus the JR East lines will fundamentally alter your daily budget and your daily commute times. In this comprehensive, multi-part masterclass, we are going to dismantle every single assumption you have about booking a hotel in Japan. We are going to provide you with a meticulous, data-driven framework designed specifically for the American traveler, effectively translating the complexities of the Japanese hospitality industry into actionable, highly strategic concepts. We will examine case studies of travelers who optimize their itineraries, by selecting the precise neighborhood that aligned with their specific flight arrival times and targeted sightseeing zones. We will analyze the historical trends of hotel pricing in Tokyo, showing you exactly when shoulder seasons provide the greatest arbitrage opportunities for upgrading your room category without increasing your overall budget. We will explore the vital importance of understanding Japanese room square footage, bed size terminology, and the often overlooked nuances of non-smoking versus strictly smoking rooms, which are still highly prevalent in certain tiers of Japanese lodging. By the end of this extensive guide, you will possess a level of geographical and logistical fluency that most travelers do not achieve until their third or fourth visit to the country. You will know exactly how to avoid the notorious trap of booking a property situated on a massive, unwalkable hill in Akasaka when you have mobility concerns or heavy luggage. You will understand why booking a highly rated, incredibly affordable hotel in a neighboring prefecture like Chiba or Kanagawa might seem like a financial masterstroke on paper, but will ultimately result in a grueling daily commute that drains your energy and fundamentally compromises your ability to experience the vibrant nightlife of the city. We are going to cover the specific neighborhoods that provide the optimal balance of immediate transit access, late-night dining options, and manageable crowd levels. We will discuss the potential outcomes of utilizing luggage forwarding services, known as takyubin, and how understanding this singular, brilliant Japanese logistical system can entirely dictate where you should choose to spend your first and last nights in the country. This is not about simply finding a place to sleep. This is about establishing a strategic base camp that will directly influence the success, the budget, and the emotional resonance of your entire Japanese journey. The decisions you make regarding your accommodation will dictate your schedule, define your physical comfort, and ultimately determine whether you return home with stories of profound cultural immersion or tales of exhausting logistical nightmares. To understand exactly how to avoid these catastrophic errors, we must first completely dismantle the standard American perception of geographical scale. When a typical traveler looks at a digital map of Tokyo, they instinctively apply a domestic framework, viewing it much like they would view the layout of Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York City. They see a cluster of wards, assume the transit system is a monolithic entity that connects point A to point B with equal efficiency, and base their accommodation decisions entirely on a balance of nightly rate and aggregated online reviews. This is the fundamental error. Tokyo is not a single city in the traditional American sense. It is a sprawling, interconnected metropolitan prefecture consisting of 23 special wards, multiple distinct cities, and a population density that redefines the concept of urban infrastructure. In the year 2026, as inbound tourism reaches unprecedented historical trends, understanding the precise anatomy of this transit web is no longer an optional optimization strategy. It is a mandatory survival skill for your itinerary. Consider the case study of a traveler we will call Michael, a first-time visitor flying out of Atlanta in the spring of 2026. Michael conducts what he believes is thorough research. He finds a highly rated, modern hotel offering remarkably spacious rooms for a fraction of the cost of properties located in the city center. This hotel is located in Edagawa City, on the far eastern edge of the Tokyo metropolis. On paper, it looks like a brilliant financial maneuver. Michael looks at the transit application and sees a train station is only a 10-minute walk away. What Michael fails to realize is the concept of the transfer penalty, a hidden tax on both time and physical endurance that devastates poorly planned itineraries. The station near his hotel is operated by a private railway, entirely disconnected from the central arteries of the city. Every single morning, Michael must walk 10 minutes to this local station, wait for a commuter train, ride it for 20 minutes to a major hub, physically exit the private railway fare gates, walk 10 to 15 minutes through a massive subterranean concourse packed with rushing commuters, and then enter the Tokyo Metro or Japan Railway system, just to begin the actual journey to his desired sightseeing locations in Shibuya or Shinjuku. This transfer penalty results in a one-way commute of over an hour and 15 minutes. Over the course of a 10-day trip, Michael spends an astounding 25 hours simply standing on crowded commuter trains or navigating underground concrete mazes. He spends a significant portion of his vacation budget tapping his transit card at multiple different fare gates because the transit systems are operated by competing corporate entities that do not share free transfers. By day 4, the potential outcomes of this exhausting daily ritual become severe. The sheer physical toll of walking miles inside stations before even reaching a tourist destination leads to physical burnout, forcing Michael to abandon his carefully planned evening itineraries and retreat to his distant hotel before sunset. Now, imagine if Michael had understood the absolute supremacy of the JR Yamanote line. The Yamanote is the central nervous system of Tokyo tourism, a massive circular railway loop that connects almost every single major commercial, entertainment, and transit hub in the city. Shibuya, Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, Ueno, Akihabara, and Tokyo Station are all anchored to this single continuous loop. When you book a hotel within a 5-minute walking radius of a Yamanote line station, you immediately eliminate the transfer penalty for the vast majority of your journey. You bypass the complex, multi-level subway navigation entirely. You step onto a train that arrives every 3 minutes, and you are propelled directly to the cultural epicenter of your choosing. Let us look at another case study focusing on a traveler named Sarah from Dallas, who applies a highly strategic approach to her 2026 itinerary. Sarah prioritizes absolute logistical efficiency over square footage. She specifically targets the neighborhood of Hamamatsucho, located on the southeastern edge of the Yamanote Loop. She does this for one highly specific, data-driven reason. Hamamatsucho is the terminal station for the Tokyo monorail, which connects directly to Haneda Airport. When Sarah lands, physically exhausted from a 14-hour trans-Pacific flight, she does not have to navigate complex transfers with heavy luggage. She boards a single monorail, exits at Hamamatsucho, and walks exactly 4 minutes to her hotel lobby. Her stress levels are practically non-existent. Furthermore, because her hotel is adjacent to a Yamanote station, her daily commute to the neon lights of Akihabara or the upscale dining of Ginza requires 0 transfers and takes less than 15 minutes. She maximizes her time on the ground, entirely avoiding the commuter fatigue that destroyed Michael's trip. This stark contrast perfectly illustrates why proximity to the correct transit line is the single most valuable amenity a Tokyo hotel can offer. It is more valuable than a complimentary breakfast, it is more valuable than an on-site fitness center, and it is infinitely more valuable than a slight discount on the nightly room rate. You are paying for the preservation of your time, the protection of your physical energy, and the flexibility to seamlessly transition between different districts as your daily schedule evolves. But locating the perfect neighborhood on the optimal transit line is only the first critical phase of the booking process. Once you have pinpointed the geographic location, you must confront the internal reality of the Japanese hospitality industry. You might find a hotel in the perfect location, but if you do not understand the highly specific architectural and conceptual differences between the various tiers of Japanese accommodations, you might walk into your room and experience a severe wave of claustrophobia and regret. You might realize that you have booked a room category designed explicitly for a demographic you do not belong to, featuring dimensions and bed configurations that completely defy Western expectations and standards. If you think finding the right neighborhood is complex, wait until we analyze what happens when American tourists unknowingly book themselves into standard domestic business hotels, a mistake that triggers a chain reaction of physical discomfort and logistical nightmares that we are going to dissect meticulously in the next section. To understand the severity of this issue, we must first examine the historical trends and the foundational purpose of the Japanese business hotel. In the United States, a standard hotel room is designed as a miniature home away from home, operating on the assumption that guests will spend considerable time lounging, unpacking wardrobes, and utilizing the space for relaxation. The Japanese business hotel was engineered for an entirely different demographic and an entirely different physiological need. Decades ago, as Tokyo expanded into a global economic powerhouse, corporate culture demanded long hours, often resulting in employees missing the final commuter trains home to the distant suburbs. The business hotel was created to solve this specific logistical crisis. It was designed as a hyper-efficient, highly compact sleeping pod for a single individual, typically a salaryman, carrying nothing more than a briefcase and requiring only a bed, a shower, and a few hours of sleep before returning to the office. When American tourists utilize popular Western booking engines in 2026, the algorithms frequently push these business hotels to the top of the search results because their nightly rates are incredibly appealing. What the algorithms fail to adequately translate is the spatial reality of these properties. In the United States, a standard entry-level hotel room averages around 330 square feet. A standard room in a Tokyo business hotel often measures between 11 and 14 square meters. For the American viewer, that translates to roughly 118 to 150 square feet. It is crucial to understand that this measurement includes the bathroom, the tiny entryway, and the space occupied by the bed itself. Let us look at a highly common case study. Imagine a couple named David and Jessica from Austin, Texas, traveling to Japan for a 14-day vacation in the fall of 2026. They secure a booking at a well-known business hotel chain in Shinjuku, thrilled by the central location and the $80 nightly rate. They each bring a standard 28-inch hardshell-checked suitcase, along with 2 personal backpacks. When they unlock the door to their room, the potential outcomes of their lack of research become immediately, painfully apparent. The door barely clears the foot of the bed when pushed open. There is exactly one narrow pathway, perhaps 18 inches wide, running between the wall and the side of the mattress. David and Jessica discover that it is physically impossible to open both of their suitcases simultaneously anywhere on the floor. To access their clothing, they must place one suitcase on the bed, open it, retrieve what they need, zip it closed, stand it upright in the narrow hallway, and repeat the process for the second suitcase. Over a 14-day trip, this forced luggage Tetris morphs from a minor inconvenience into a major source of daily friction, transforming their hotel room from a place of rest into a frustrating obstacle course. The spatial constraints extend far beyond floor space, introducing the next major pitfall for the uninitiated American traveler: Japanese bed sizing terminology. David and Jessica booked what the English translation of the website called a double room. In the United States, a standard queen-size bed measures 60 inches wide, providing ample space for 2 adults to sleep comfortably without disturbing one another. In the Japanese business hotel ecosystem, a standard double is often categorized as a semi-double. A semi-double bed measures exactly 120 centimeters in width, which translates to roughly 47 inches. To put that into perspective, a standard American twin bed, designed for a single child, is 38 inches wide. David and Jessica are forced to spend 2 weeks sleeping on a mattress that is essentially an oversized twin bed. The potential outcomes of this sleep deprivation are severe, leading to exhausted mornings, elevated stress levels, and a severely diminished capacity to walk the required 15,000 to 20,000 daily steps that a Tokyo itinerary demands. Furthermore, we must meticulously examine the structural reality of the bathroom facilities in these properties. Unlike American bathrooms, which are typically built into the framing of the room with standard drywall and tile, the vast majority of Japanese business hotels utilize what is known as a unit bath. A unit bath is a completely modular, prefabricated plastic pod that is manufactured off-site and inserted into the room structure during construction. When you enter a unit bath, you must typically step up several inches into a highly confined, molded plastic environment. The bathtub itself is deep but incredibly short, requiring an adult to sit with their knees pulled up to their chest. The sink is often integrated directly into the shower plumbing, meaning you must turn a physical dial to divert water from the sink faucet to the shower head. While these unit baths are marvels of engineering and are kept meticulously clean, the sheer lack of space can induce claustrophobia for travelers accustomed to sprawling American vanities and walk-in showers. The compounding effect of these spatial restrictions creates a psychological toll that significantly diminishes the quality of a vacation. After navigating the overwhelming sensory input of Shibuya Crossing, pushing through the dense crowds of the Amyoko market, and interpreting a completely foreign language for 12 hours, your brain requires an environment that allows for decompression. A 12-square-meter business hotel room does not allow for decompression. It demands continuous spatial awareness. You cannot leave a pair of shoes in the wrong spot. You cannot leave a laptop on the tiny integrated desk. And you certainly cannot find a space to simply sit and reflect other than the surface of the bed itself. This leads to a critical realization for the first-time visitor. If business hotels are a logistical and spatial nightmare for tourists carrying heavy international luggage, and if standard 5-star international luxury chains command nightly rates of $800 to $1,000, where does the average American traveler stay? The industry seems polarized, offering either extreme claustrophobia-inducing budget options or elite, financially prohibitive luxury suites. However, there is a massive, highly strategic middle ground. There is a specific category of hybrid accommodations that domestic Japanese travelers utilize heavily, but which most Western booking engines deliberately mistranslate or obscure within their search filters. These properties offer the square footage of an American room, the technological advancements of a luxury tier, and strategic locations that bypass the commuter chaos. Unlocking this hidden tier requires a complete re-education on how to read Japanese hotel amenities, a process we are about to decode completely in our next major breakthrough. This hidden tier of accommodations, widely recognized by domestic Japanese travelers, but frequently obscured by Western booking algorithms prioritizing the absolute lowest price, is generally categorized within the industry as the upper mid-scale or premium business hotel. When you search for lodging in the year 2026, major aggregators will often group a basic, claustrophobic 10 square meter room and a highly optimized 22 square meter room under the exact same generic 3-star umbrella. This is a fatal flaw in Western search mechanics. A premium business hotel, operated by respected domestic hospitality corporations rather than bare-bones budget chains, completely redefines the spatial dynamics of your stay while keeping the financial commitment remarkably reasonable. The historical trends of hotel development in Tokyo over the past decade show a massive surge in this specific category, engineered specifically to bridge the severe gap between the restrictive salaryman pod and the financially prohibitive international luxury suite. Instead of 12 square meters, these premium rooms consistently offer 18 to 25 square meters. While that might still sound compact compared to a sprawling Texas resort, in the highly dense architectural ecosystem of Tokyo, an extra 10 square meters is the literal difference between severe physical frustration and absolute comfort. It provides the crucial designated floor space required to fully open 2 large international suitcases simultaneously without blocking the primary walking path, obstructing the integrated desk area, or completely barricading the entryway to the bathroom. Furthermore, these properties routinely feature expansive lobby amenity bars, allowing guests to bypass wasteful in-room plastic packaging and custom-select high-quality bath salts, specialized skincare serums, and premium roasted green teas daily, elevating the baseline experience far beyond a standard budget stay. But the most profound upgrade found in this hidden premium tier is not merely the expanded floor space. It is the fundamental architecture of the bathroom facilities. To identify these specific properties, you must learn to scan booking platforms for a highly coveted structural feature: the separated bath and toilet. In Japanese hospitality nomenclature, finding this feature indicates the complete abandonment of the cramped, prefabricated plastic unit bath that we analyzed previously. Instead, you are provided with a modern, residential-style Japanese wet room. Imagine the daily routine of a traveler we will call Robert, a corporate analyst from Chicago visiting Tokyo in the spring of 2026. Robert meticulously filters his hotel search to include only properties featuring separated bathrooms. When he enters his room after a grueling 14-hour flight, he does not have to step up into a tiny molded plastic pod. He opens a standard door to a dedicated, dry changing area containing a spacious vanity, a well-lit mirror, and a technologically advanced, fully automated toilet featuring a heated seat and integrated bidet functions. Through a second, completely watertight glass door, he enters the actual wet room. This space is entirely waterproofed, featuring a dedicated floor drain, a high-pressure handheld showerhead mounted on an adjustable sliding bar, a small stool for seated washing, and a separate, incredibly deep soaking tub. Following proper Japanese bathing etiquette, Robert can sit comfortably on the stool, scrub, and rinse his body completely clean before ever stepping into the pristine, hot water of the soaking tub. After walking 20,000 steps through the undulating hills of Shibuya or the massive concrete expanses of the Odaiba district, the physical recovery provided by a proper Japanese soaking tub is not a luxury. It is a vital physiological necessity. Potential outcomes for travelers who secure this specific amenity include drastically reduced lower back and muscle fatigue, significantly improved sleep quality, and a profound daily psychological reset that simply cannot be achieved while standing in a cramped, standard budget shower stall. Beyond the plumbing architecture, unlocking this premium tier requires a strategic shift in how American couples select their bed configurations. In the United States, couples reflexively book a standard king or queen room, assuming that is the only logical choice for 2 adults. In Japan, historical trends and architectural realities indicate that booking a twin room is often the most strategic maneuver a couple can execute when navigating the premium business tier. A Japanese twin room does not mean 2 tiny, uncomfortable cots. It typically features 2 high-quality beds that are roughly equivalent to American full or oversized twin mattresses, pushed against opposite walls or separated by a central nightstand. Why is this structurally superior for the American traveler? Because selecting a twin room inherently forces the architectural footprint of the room to expand. A hotel physically cannot fit 2 distinct beds and a central walkway into a 12 square meter micro room. By selecting the twin configuration, you manipulate the booking algorithm into serving you rooms that naturally fall into the 20 to 28 square meter range. You gain valuable aisle space between the beds, you gain a larger exterior window presence, and you guarantee that neither partner is forced to sleep pressed tightly against a cold exterior wall. Case studies of American couples adjusting to this specific twin-room strategy consistently report higher overall trip satisfaction rates, as the separation of sleeping surfaces prevents motion transfer, a critical factor when dealing with the severe jet lag and restless nights that inevitably accompany a massive trans-Pacific time difference. Furthermore, you must decode the unwritten rules of Japanese hotel amenities, specifically regarding advanced laundry logistics. American travelers habitually overpack, bringing massive, heavy suitcases filled with 14 days of varying clothing options to avoid the astronomical dry cleaning fees typically found in domestic U.S. hotels. The hidden tier of Tokyo accommodations entirely negates this burdensome requirement by offering highly advanced, digital payment-enabled laundry facilities directly inside the hotel, and in the case of modern apartment-style residential hotels, directly inside your private room. These are not standard, inefficient American washing machines. They are highly compact, hyper-efficient, all-in-one wash and dry drum units. Imagine if you only packed 5 days worth of lightweight clothing for a comprehensive 2-week expedition across Japan in 2026. You return to your premium hotel in the Ginza district after a long day of sightseeing. You place your garments into the secure machine located in the lobby lounge or on your specific floor, input a custom 4-digit PIN code so no unauthorized person can open the door mid-cycle, and select a comprehensive wash and dry program that automatically injects the precise, calculated amount of required detergent and fabric softener. You retreat to your room, soak in your deep tub, and exactly 120 minutes later, you retrieve perfectly clean, completely dry, and ready-to-wear clothing. This singular, highly efficient amenity drastically reduces your required luggage footprint, allowing you to navigate the complex, multi-level transit stations we discussed earlier with a single, nimble carry-on bag, rather than dragging an 80-pound monstrosity up 3 flights of concrete stairs during rush hour. Understanding exactly how to filter for separated bathrooms, utilizing the twin-room spatial hack to force larger square footage, and leveraging integrated laundry systems entirely elevates your booking strategy from that of an amateur tourist to a seasoned, highly efficient global traveler. You have bypassed the commuter nightmare by selecting the correct Yamanote-adjacent neighborhood, and you have bypassed the extreme claustrophobia trap by identifying the premium business tier. On paper, your itinerary looks flawless. Your geographical positioning is perfect, and your room dimensions are fully optimized for ultimate comfort and recovery. But there is one final, devastating trap hidden within the booking portals, a seemingly innocuous drop-down menu option that routinely destroys the vacations of thousands of Western travelers every single year. It is a massive cultural blind spot regarding air quality and historical hospitality laws in Japan, and if you accidentally click the wrong button or ignore the specific terminology during your checkout process, you will open the door to your carefully selected premium room, only to be hit with an overwhelming, deeply embedded sensory nightmare that no amount of open windows or chemical sprays can ever remove. Resolving this trap requires understanding the rigid, uncompromising reality of Japanese smoking regulations and designated floors, a critical booking protocol we are going to dissect meticulously in the very next phase of this guide. To fully grasp the magnitude of this specific booking hazard, we must briefly examine the historical trends of tobacco consumption and hospitality infrastructure within Japan. In the United States, the concept of a smoking hotel room has been largely eradicated from mainstream hospitality for well over a decade. American travelers instinctively assume that when they book a modern hotel in a major metropolitan global financial center, like Tokyo in the year 2026, the entire building will be a strictly smoke-free environment. This assumption is a massive vulnerability. While Japan has made significant strides in public smoking regulations, particularly leading up to recent global sporting events and the subsequent tourism boom, the domestic hospitality industry still caters heavily to a domestic corporate demographic that expects the availability of designated smoking rooms. These are not merely rooms where a previous guest broke the rules and snuck a cigarette. These are officially sanctioned, perpetually utilized smoking chambers where decades of tobacco smoke have permeated the wallpaper, embedded into the carpet fibers, and saturated the internal mechanics of the air conditioning units. Let us look at a case study involving a traveler named Emily from Seattle, who is planning her highly anticipated cherry blossom trip in the spring of 2026. Emily utilizes a popular third-party aggregator, to search for premium business hotels in the Shibuya district. She finds a beautifully photographed property with a separated bathroom and an excellent location, just 3 minutes from the station. She notices that the nightly rate for one specific room category is roughly 15% cheaper than the rest of the available inventory. Believing she has found an algorithmic pricing error or a temporary flash sale, she immediately secures the reservation and inputs her credit card information. What Emily failed to notice was a tiny, often grayed-out icon or a vaguely translated phrase buried at the very bottom of the room description indicating it was a dedicated smoking room. When Emily arrives after her grueling international transit, she opens the door to her premium room and is immediately hit by a physical wall of stale, heavy tobacco odor. The potential outcomes of this oversight are universally disastrous for non-smokers. Emily attempts to resolve the situation by going back down to the front desk, only to be politely informed by the staff that because the hotel is operating at 98% occupancy, which is standard for Tokyo in peak travel seasons, there are absolutely zero non-smoking rooms available for a transfer. She is handed a bottle of deodorizing fabric spray, commonly provided in all Japanese hotel rooms, but no amount of surface spray can counteract an environment that has been actively smoked in for 15 years. She turns on the air conditioning to circulate the stagnant air, but the internal filters are so saturated that the machine merely blasts concentrated tobacco scent directly over her pillows. Every single piece of clothing she unpacks absorbs the ambient odor within hours. Her sleep quality plummets due to respiratory irritation, and her entire meticulously planned vacation is overshadowed by the visceral discomfort of her living environment. This trap is actively facilitated by the user interface of major Western booking platforms. When inventory for highly desirable non-smoking rooms runs low, booking algorithms will automatically pull smoking room inventory to the top of the search results to ensure the hotel still appears available to the consumer. The visual differentiation between the two categories on a mobile screen is often dangerously subtle. Furthermore, many American travelers mistakenly believe they can simply book a smoking room to secure the artificially low price, and then add a polite note in the special request section of the booking form asking the staff to thoroughly clean and deodorize the room before their arrival. This strategy demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of Japanese operational protocols. In Japan, rules and room categorizations are absolute. A hotel will never assign a non-smoking guest to a smoking room and attempt to deep clean it, because the level of remediation required to remove that chemical saturation would involve entirely replacing the drywall and the flooring. If you book a smoking room, you are contractually securing a smoking room, and your special request will be respectfully ignored because it is physically impossible to fulfill to Western standards. To ensure you do not fall victim to this itinerary-destroying error, you must adopt a paranoid level of scrutiny during the final checkout phase. You must manually verify that the specific words non-smoking are explicitly stated in the exact room title you are clicking on, not just in the general hotel description. Do not rely on the provided photographs, as hotels routinely use the exact same pristine, brightly lit promotional images for both their smoking and non-smoking categories. If you are booking directly through a Japanese hotel website that has been translated into English, pay extremely close attention to the abbreviations. Sometimes a non-smoking room is simply denoted by a small symbol of a cigarette with a red slash through it, or the letters NS. If the room type simply says double room without explicitly specifying the air quality status, you must automatically assume it is a smoking room. Historical trends show that when a Japanese hotel has a non-smoking room available, they will advertise that fact prominently because it is the most highly requested amenity by international tourists. If the status is ambiguous, the room is almost certainly a smoking variant that the algorithm is trying to liquidate. You have now mastered the art of filtering out the claustrophobic budget tiers. You understand exactly how to utilize the twin-bed spatial strategy to force the algorithm to yield a larger physical footprint. You know the immense physical value of prioritizing the separated Japanese soaking tub for daily recovery, and you have successfully navigated the treacherous hidden inventory of smoking rooms. You finally click confirm on a pristine 25 square meter, strictly non-smoking premium room located exactly 4 minutes away from a major Yamanote Line transit hub. You feel an immense sense of accomplishment. The financial transaction is complete, and your digital confirmation arrives in your inbox. You assume the hardest part of your Tokyo travel planning is officially over, and you can begin focusing on restaurant reservations. But this is exactly where the most insidious geographical illusion of Tokyo completely blindsides the American tourist. You successfully secured a hotel near a major transit station, but you completely fail to investigate which specific architectural exit your hotel faces. In massive sprawling transit hubs like Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, or Shibuya, the station building itself acts as a colossal, impenetrable concrete wall that divides the surrounding city into entirely different, deeply contrasting universes. Imagine if you booked a premium, serene hotel for your quiet family vacation, only to realize on your very first night that your specific station exit forcefully funnels you directly through the neon-drenched epicenter of the largest, most aggressive red light and nightlife entertainment district in all of Asia. You are about to discover that in Tokyo, being near the right station is utterly meaningless if you accidentally book your accommodation on the wrong side of the tracks, a cartographical nightmare that we are going to expose and systematically solve right now. To understand the catastrophic nature of this cartographical trap, you must completely abandon the American concept of a train station. In the United States, a transit hub is typically a single self-contained building. You enter the front doors, you board your train, and when you arrive at your destination, you exit the front doors onto a unified city street. In Tokyo, major transit hubs like Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, and Shibuya are not merely buildings. They are sprawling, multi-level, subterranean megastructures that function as physical, impenetrable concrete borders dividing massive sections of the city. These stations are so gargantuan that they operate their own internal microeconomies, featuring hundreds of restaurants, multi-story department stores, and labyrinthine underground shopping malls. Shinjuku Station alone processes over 3.5 million humans every single day. Because of this colossal architectural footprint, the train tracks themselves act as a sprawling river of steel that you cannot simply walk across. You are forced to navigate through specific, highly congested underground tunnels or over massive, exhausting pedestrian bridges to get from one side of the station to the other. This infrastructural reality creates highly localized, profoundly different neighborhood atmospheres depending entirely on which specific exit your hotel faces. Let us examine a deeply revealing case study involving the Miller family from suburban Ohio, planning a 2-week cultural immersion trip to Tokyo in the fall of 2026. The Millers want a quiet, highly accessible, family-friendly environment. They utilize a digital map, locate Shinjuku Station because it is on the highly coveted Yamanote line, and find a beautifully reviewed, premium business hotel situated exactly 0.2 miles from the station. They book the room, completely unaware that their hotel is located out of the east exit. When the Miller family arrives in Tokyo at 8 o'clock at night, dragging their heavy international luggage out of the east exit, they are immediately violently thrust into Kabukicho. Kabukicho is historically known as the largest entertainment and red light district in all of Asia. While it is generally safe from violent crime, the sensory environment is absolutely overwhelming. The Millers find themselves pushing their children and their suitcases through incredibly dense, chaotic crowds, surrounded by towering neon signs, blaring street advertisements, aggressive touts attempting to lure pedestrians into host clubs and late-night bars, and an atmosphere of intense, relentless nightlife that does not cease until sunrise. This is not the serene, culturally rich Japanese experience they envisioned. It is an exhausting, hyper-stimulating gauntlet they must run every single time they want to return to their hotel room. Conversely, imagine a case study involving Mark, a 25-year-old traveler from Miami visiting Tokyo in 2026 specifically to experience the legendary, cyberpunk-infused nightlife, the late-night ramen culture, and the vibrant street energy he has seen in countless documentaries. Mark also books a hotel 0.2 miles from Shinjuku Station, but he accidentally selects a property located out of the west exit, deeply embedded in Nishi-Shinjuku. The west side of Shinjuku is a massive, heavily zoned corporate skyscraper district. It is the administrative heart of the Tokyo metropolitan government. During the day, it is a bustling hub of business professionals. But when Mark exits his hotel at 10 o'clock at night looking for entertainment and street food, he steps out into a literal ghost town. The towering corporate monoliths are dark, the wide concrete avenues are entirely devoid of foot traffic, and the only establishments open are a handful of brightly lit convenience stores. To access the vibrant nightlife of the east side, Mark must walk 25 minutes out of his way, navigating the massive, confusing underground free passageway beneath the train tracks, a journey that historical trends show frequently leads to profound disorientation for first-time visitors. He adds an hour of walking to his itinerary every single night, simply because he was situated on the wrong side of the concrete barrier. This phenomenon is not isolated to Shinjuku. It dictates the reality of almost every major transit hub in the city. If you book a hotel near Ueno Station, you must strategically decide between the Ueno Park exit and the Amyoko Market exit. The Ueno Park side is highly elevated, serene, and deeply cultural, home to world-class museums and a massive zoo. It is perfect for families seeking a quiet retreat. However, because of its elevated geographical positioning, accessing hotels on this side often requires dragging luggage up steep, punishing inclines unless you map out the specific, often hidden municipal elevators. If you book a hotel on the opposite side of Ueno Station, the Amyoko side, you are immediately immersed in a chaotic, incredibly dense open-air market spanning multiple city blocks. It is phenomenal for discount shopping and street food, but attempting to roll a 28-inch hardshell suitcase through the Amyoko crowds at 5 o'clock in the evening is an exercise in sheer physical frustration and potential social friction. In Shibuya, the cartographical divide is equally severe. Booking a hotel near the Hachiko or Centergai exits thrusts you directly into the epicenter of youth culture, massive video billboards, and overwhelming pedestrian density. It is highly energetic but extremely loud, and historical data indicates a significant increase in late-night street noise that can easily penetrate hotel windows and destroy your sleep quality. However, if you deliberately book a hotel located just a few hundred yards away via the Shibuya Stream or the New South exits, the environment completely transforms. You enter a highly modernized, upscale, incredibly quiet tech corridor populated by serene cafes, high-end corporate offices, and a beautifully manicured pedestrian promenade entirely shielded from the chaos of the famous Scramble Crossing. To systematically solve this cartographical nightmare, you must move beyond the two-dimensional overview map. You must zoom in to the maximum level on your digital mapping application and identify the specific alphanumeric codes assigned to the station exits nearest your prospective hotel. Exits labeled A1, B4, or C2 dictate your physical reality. You must utilize street-level digital viewing tools to virtually walk the exact route from that specific exit to the hotel lobby. You must analyze the surrounding businesses. Are there massive clusters of karaoke parlors, late-night arcades, and highly concentrated bar districts? Or are there corporate plazas, family restaurants, and quiet residential blocks? The physical presence of the train tracks is the great divider of Tokyo neighborhoods, and crossing them is never as simple as jaywalking across an American street. If you apply this extreme level of scrutiny, you will achieve the perfect booking. You will secure a premium business hotel with a separated soaking tub, configured with twin beds for maximum square footage, guaranteed to be strictly non-smoking, and situated in the exact micro-neighborhood that perfectly aligns with your specific psychological and logistical requirements for the trip. You have successfully conquered the most difficult digital phase of Japanese travel planning. The date of your departure finally arrives. You board your Trans-Pacific flight, endure the 14 hours in the air, navigate the customs process at Narita Airport, and successfully ride the express train directly to your perfectly selected station exit. You walk to your hotel, completely exhausted but triumphant. It is currently 9 o'clock in the morning. You approach the front desk, hand over your passport, and prepare to collapse into your room and sleep off the jet lag. The receptionist smiles warmly, processes your passport, and then politely informs you that check-in time is strictly enforced at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There are absolutely no early check-ins permitted under any circumstances. You are now standing in a foreign city, severely sleep-deprived, operating on a massive time deficit, and you are physically tethered to 4 massive pieces of international luggage with nowhere to go for the next 6 hours. If you believe you can simply walk to the train station and easily secure a massive empty coin locker to store your bags, you are about to collide with the brutal, highly competitive reality of Tokyo's luggage logistics infrastructure, an incredibly complex system that requires a masterclass of its own if you want to survive your first 24 hours in the country without suffering a complete physical and emotional breakdown. To comprehend the sheer magnitude of this arrival day crisis, you must first fully internalize the cultural philosophy governing Japanese hospitality operations. In the United States, hotel check-in times are frequently treated as mere suggestions. If a room happens to be clean at 11 in the morning, an American front desk agent will typically hand over the key card without hesitation. Furthermore, American travelers are culturally conditioned to believe that a $20 bill quietly slid across the reception counter can magically bypass operational rules. If you attempt to execute this strategy in Tokyo in the year 2026, you will trigger an incredibly awkward, culturally insensitive interaction. Tipping is fundamentally non-existent in Japan, and attempting to bribe a hospitality professional to break a standard operating procedure is viewed as a deep insult to their integrity. The 3 o'clock check-in time is an absolute, uncompromising logistical barrier. Japanese housekeeping teams operate with a level of meticulous precision that borders on the scientific, requiring every single minute of that designated turnover window to completely reset the property to their exact, unyielding standards. Let us examine a case study involving a traveler named Christopher. Arriving from Chicago in the summer of 2026, Christopher lands at Narita Airport early in the morning, takes the hour-long express train into the city, and arrives at his chosen hotel by 10 o'clock. He is informed of the strict afternoon check-in policy. Exhausted, he decides to leave the hotel and implement his backup plan, which is to store his massive, 80-pound check-in luggage inside a public coin locker at the nearby Shinjuku station, while he explores the city for 5 hours. Christopher assumes that because Shinjuku is one of the largest transit hubs on the planet, securing a locker will be effortless. This assumption exposes a massive vulnerability in his planning. He walks into the subterranean labyrinth of the station, and indeed finds massive banks of digital lockers. However, what Christopher fails to realize is that 90% of these lockers are sized exclusively for small domestic backpacks, briefcases, or standard shopping bags. The extra-large lockers, the only receptacles physically capable of holding a standard 28-inch American hardshell suitcase, represent a minuscule fraction of the total inventory. By 9 o'clock in the morning on any given day in 2026, historical trends show that the occupancy rate for these extra-large lockers across all major Tokyo transit hubs hits 95 to 98%. Christopher spends an agonizing hour and a half dragging his massive luggage up and down crowded concrete corridors, scanning digital locker availability screens that display nothing but glowing red indicators signifying they are completely full. He is sweating through his clothes in the oppressive humidity. His jet lag is severely compounding his physical exhaustion, and he is actively wasting the precious first hours of his meticulously planned vacation staring at metal doors. Even if he miraculously locates an empty large locker, he must then navigate the complex digital payment interface, which often requires a specific Japanese transit IC card that he has not yet acquired, further paralyzing his progress. To systematically bypass this brutal initiation ritual, American travelers must completely re-engineer their arrival logistics by leveraging the most highly advanced, flawlessly executed domestic delivery network on Earth, known as Takyuban. Understanding and utilizing Takyuban, predominantly operated by Yamato Transport, is the ultimate masterstroke of Japanese travel. This service allows you to completely divorce yourself from your heavy luggage the moment you clear customs at the airport. Imagine a profoundly different potential outcome for a traveler named Amanda from Atlanta. Amanda has researched historical trends and understands the physical toll of the Tokyo transit system. Before she even leaves the arrival terminal at Haneda Airport, she walks directly to the brightly illuminated Yamato Transport counter. She fills out a simple waybill in English, hands over her 2 massive checked suitcases, and pays a remarkably low fee, typically hovering around $15 to $20 per bag. She then walks away. She steps onto the Tokyo monorail carrying nothing but a lightweight tactical day bag containing her passport, essential medications, a portable charger, and a single change of clothes. Because she is completely unburdened by heavy luggage, the complex transfer at Hamamatsucho Station is entirely frictionless. She does not need to hunt for elevators. She does not need to participate in the brutal competition for extra-large coin lockers. She spends her first 5 hours in Japan effortlessly strolling through the serene pathways of the Meiji Shrine and enjoying a leisurely, unhurried lunch in Omotesando. When 3 o'clock finally arrives, she casually walks into her hotel lobby and checks in. Her massive suitcases, transported via a highly secure, temperature-controlled logistical network, are either waiting for her securely at the front desk or have already been meticulously placed inside her room by the hotel staff. This specific logistical strategy fundamentally alters the criteria you must use when selecting your accommodation. If you plan to utilize luggage forwarding, which you absolutely should, you must verify that your chosen hotel has a fully staffed front desk capable of receiving commercial deliveries. While the hidden tier of premium business hotels we analyzed earlier will seamlessly handle this process, there is a rising trend in 2026 of hypermodern, completely automated budget hotels that operate entirely through digital kiosks and feature absolutely zero human staff on the premises. If you forward your luggage to an unmanned hotel, the delivery driver cannot legally leave the bags in an unsecured lobby. They will be forced to return the luggage to a regional distribution center, completely severing you from your clothing and vital supplies for days, while you attempt to navigate a complex redelivery process over the phone with a severe language barrier. Therefore, confirming the presence of a human concierge or a dedicated reception team is a non-negotiable requirement before you finalize any booking. Furthermore, leveraging the Takyuban system entirely dictates how you handle the final day of your itinerary. The thought of dragging heavy bags filled with souvenirs back onto the crowded Yamanote line during the morning commuter rush to reach the airport express train is a recipe for immense physical stress. By utilizing the hotel front desk to forward your luggage directly back to the airport terminal 2 days before your departure, you preserve your energy, protect your purchased goods, and maintain maximum mobility until the very last second of your trip. You have now successfully navigated the geographical illusions, the extreme spatial constraints, the hidden smoking rooms, and the brutal reality of arrival day luggage logistics. You have checked into your pristine room, you have slept deeply in your separated Japanese soaking tub, and your jet lag is surprisingly manageable. You wake up the next morning at 6 o'clock, completely refreshed and ready to conquer the city. You feel a deep sense of hunger, so you dress quickly and step out of your perfectly located hotel, fully expecting to find a bustling city ready to serve you a massive hearty breakfast to fuel your 20,000-step day. You walk toward the main transit hub, only to discover a profoundly shocking reality. The streets are eerily quiet. The massive department stores are bolted shut. Every single restaurant you pass is completely dark. You realize with a sudden sinking feeling that the city of Tokyo operates on a biological clock completely alien to the American morning routine, and your desperate search for a simple cup of coffee and a hot meal is about to become an unexpected, highly frustrating expedition. To survive the extreme biological dissonance of a Tokyo morning, you must first understand the historical trends of Japanese urban operating hours. In the United States, the concept of the early morning diner, the 24-hour drive-thru, and the sprawling coffee shop opening its doors at 5 in the morning is a foundational pillar of society. Americans are culturally conditioned to expect robust, highly accessible breakfast infrastructure to be fully operational before the sun even rises. Tokyo operates on a profoundly different timeline. The city is a late-night metropolis that sleeps in. The vast majority of retail stores, massive department complexes, and dedicated restaurants do not physically unlock their doors until 10 or even 11 o'clock in the morning. When an American tourist experiences the severe physiological impact of a 14-hour time difference, their internal clock forcefully wakes them up at 4 or 5 in the morning, ravenously hungry and desperate for a massive influx of caffeine. Consider the case study of a traveler named Brian, a corporate manager from Denver, Colorado, embarking on his first Japanese expedition in the spring of 2026. Brian wakes up at 5:30 in the morning on his first full day in Shinjuku. He assumes he can simply walk down to the street level and find a bustling cafe serving eggs, bacon, and massive drip coffees. He steps out of his premium business hotel and is greeted by an eerie, silent cityscape. The iconic neon signs are switched off. The towering Shibuya Scramble and the massive Shinjuku avenues are devoid of foot traffic. Brian spends the next 2 hours aimlessly wandering the concrete labyrinth, growing increasingly irritable, hungry, and exhausted. He discovers that finding a sit-down, Western-style breakfast before 8 o'clock in the morning outside of a major international transit hub is a logistical impossibility. He ultimately settles for a cold canned coffee from a vending machine, a severely underwhelming start to a day that requires massive physical endurance. This stark reality makes the inclusion of a hotel breakfast one of the most highly debated and strategically critical decisions you must finalize during the booking process. If you opt out of the hotel breakfast to save $20 or $30 a day, you must immediately pivot to the Japanese convenience store ecosystem. The konbini, dominated by massive chains like 7-Eleven, Family Mart, and Lawson, becomes your absolute lifeline. When evaluating your hotel location, you must utilize digital mapping tools to confirm that at least one, preferably two, major convenience stores are located within a 1-block radius of your lobby. These establishments are engineering marvels of fast-moving consumer goods, operating flawlessly 24 hours a day. Here you can procure incredibly high-quality egg salad sandwiches on crustless milk bread, steamed pork buns, perfectly packaged onigiri rice balls, and freshly ground hot coffee. For travelers attempting to maintain a strict budget, the konbini breakfast is a highly efficient strategy. However, it requires you to bring your purchased items back to your hotel room to consume them. as eating while walking on the streets of Tokyo is culturally frowned upon and public trash cans are virtually non-existent. But imagine if you are traveling with a family, or if you simply refuse to start your heavily scheduled vacation, eating a cold sandwich on the edge of your hotel bed. This is where the strategic inclusion of the in-house Japanese hotel breakfast buffet becomes an absolute game-changer. Historical trends indicate that premium business hotels have completely revolutionized their morning culinary offerings over the past 5 years to compete for international tourist dollars. A proper Japanese hotel breakfast is not a stale continental spread of dry cereal and sad pastries. It is a massive, highly curated culinary event that blends Western staples with intense, deeply traditional Japanese morning dishes. Let us look at a case study involving the Martinez family from Phoenix, navigating Tokyo with 2 teenagers in 2026. They purposefully select a premium business hotel in the Shinjuku district that includes a comprehensive breakfast buffet. Instead of herding 2 exhausted, jet-lagged teenagers through the silent streets at 6 in the morning searching for an open bakery, they simply take the elevator down to the dining hall. They are immediately presented with an overwhelming array of options. The parents can access freshly scrambled eggs, artisan sausages, and thick-cut toast, while simultaneously exploring traditional Japanese breakfast components like grilled salted salmon, tamagoyaki rolled omelets, fermented natto, hot miso soup, and steaming bowls of premium short-grain rice. Many of these premium buffets even feature regional specialties, offering unlimited bowls of rich, complex Japanese curry, DIY udon noodle stations, and extensive salad bars. The potential outcomes of front-loading your day with this level of diverse, high-density caloric intake are monumental. The Martinez family consumes a massive, culturally immersive meal in a highly controlled, stress-free environment before 7 in the morning. They bypass the entire morning hunt. By the time the rest of the city finally wakes up and the tourist attractions open their gates at 9 or 10 o'clock, the Martinez family is already fully energized, strategically positioned at the front of the entry lines, and completely ready to absorb the cultural experiences they flew thousands of miles to see. They do not have to stop for a mid-morning snack, and their physical endurance is significantly extended, allowing them to walk the required 10 miles a day without experiencing a catastrophic midday energy crash. When you are scrutinizing the booking portal, you must carefully analyze the financial mathematics of the breakfast add-on. Often, clicking the box to include breakfast at the time of your initial digital reservation will secure the meal for a fraction of the cost compared to purchasing a walk-up voucher at the front desk on the morning of your stay. You are purchasing time, you are purchasing immense convenience, and you are entirely mitigating the brutal physiological effects of the American time zone deficit. You have now optimized every single aspect of your Tokyo base camp. Your luggage is handled, your room is immaculate, your transit proximity is flawless, and your morning caloric intake is strategically secured. You are finally ready to leave the immediate vicinity of your hotel and execute the ambitious multi-city itinerary you have been dreaming about for years. You confidently walk into the massive train station, ready to activate the legendary, highly coveted tourist transit pass you purchased months ago in the United States. You approach the digital turnstile, insert your expensive magnetic ticket, and the gate violently slams shut, flashing a massive red error code. You stand there in absolute shock as thousands of impatient commuters swarm around you, suddenly realizing that the primary transportation strategy you relied upon to traverse the country has just been completely invalidated by a massive, poorly communicated regulatory overhaul. To understand why that expensive piece of magnetic cardboard just failed you, we must examine the massive paradigm shift in Japanese transit economics that completely blindsided international tourists over the past few years. For decades, the foundational advice given to any American traveling to Japan was to purchase a nationwide rail pass. Historical trends dictated that this was the ultimate financial hack. You paid a flat fee in the United States, received an exchange order, and enjoyed unlimited access to the entire Japan Railways network, including the local commuter trains circling Tokyo. Because of this historical reality, international tourists relentlessly prioritized hotels situated exclusively on the JR Yamanote line. They paid massive premiums for properties in Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Ueno simply to maximize the daily value of their prepaid rail pass. However, a sweeping regulatory and pricing overhaul radically transformed this dynamic, creating a severe informational deficit for travelers in the year 2026. The cost of that nationwide pass increased drastically, rendering it a massive financial loss for the average tourist who is simply spending a week in Tokyo with perhaps one round trip to Kyoto. Consider the case study of Thomas, an engineer from Florida visiting Tokyo in the fall of 2026. Thomas relied on outdated travel blogs from 5 years ago. He spent hundreds of dollars on a nationwide rail pass and subsequently booked a highly expensive hotel directly adjacent to the JR Shinjuku station, believing he was executing a flawless logistical strategy. On day 2 of his itinerary, Thomas decides to visit the historic temple districts in Asakusa. He walks to his designated JR station, flashes his expensive rail pass, and realizes with sheer panic that Japan Railways does not service Asakusa. To reach the temple, he must exit the JR network entirely and physically purchase a separate ticket for the Tokyo Metro Ginza line. The next day, he wants to explore the upscale dining in Roppongi. Once again, he discovers that the JR network does not go anywhere near Roppongi. He is forced to pay out of pocket for the Toi-Ito subway line. By the end of his trip, Thomas has spent a fortune on a nationwide rail pass he barely used, paid a massive premium for a JR-adjacent hotel, and still bled out significant daily funds transferring to private subway lines to reach his actual destinations. The potential outcomes of clinging to this outdated transit philosophy are devastating to your vacation budget. In 2026, the absolute mastery of Tokyo Transit relies entirely on the digital transit card and the localized subway pass, a shift that completely blows open the geographical map of viable hotel locations. Because you are no longer financially chained to the Japan Railways network, you are no longer forced to pay the massive premiums associated with Yamanote Line hotels. This is the ultimate arbitrage opportunity for the educated American tourist. You can now strategically target incredibly sophisticated, highly central neighborhoods that are serviced exclusively by the Tokyo Metro and Toei subway networks. Imagine if you completely ignored the crowded JR hubs and instead booked a premium business hotel in the Akasaka district. Historically, tourists avoided Akasaka because it required paying separate subway fares. But in the current transit landscape, Akasaka is a strategic goldmine. It is an incredibly safe, upscale dining and residential neighborhood positioned dead center in the geographical heart of Tokyo. It is serviced by multiple interconnecting subway lines. When you base your operations in a subway-exclusive hub like Akasaka, Roppongi, or Nyanbashi, you utilize a highly specific, drastically underpromoted tourist amenity known as the Tokyo Subway Ticket. This ticket is entirely separate from the JR network. It offers 24, 48, or 72 hours of unlimited, unrestricted access to all 13 Tokyo Metro and Toei subway lines for a remarkably low fixed cost. You purchase this digital ticket, load it onto your smartphone, and your hotel location in Akasaka suddenly becomes the most connected base camp in the city. You ride the Morinushi line directly to the luxury shopping of Ginza in less than 8 minutes. You ride the Chiyoda line straight to the serene forests of the Meiji Shrine. You bypass the 3 million daily commuters crushing into Shinjuku Station entirely. Your daily commute is quieter, faster, and infinitely cheaper. The financial capital you save by abandoning the nationwide rail pass and utilizing the localized subway ticket can be directly reallocated into your accommodation budget, allowing you to upgrade from a cramped 12 square meter standard room to a sprawling 25 square meter premium suite, without altering your overall baseline expenditure. Executing this strategy requires a meticulous reevaluation of how you read transit maps during the booking phase. You must stop looking for the iconic Japan Railways logo and start tracing the colorful, intersecting lines of the municipal subway system. You must look for hotels that explicitly advertise their proximity to stations where 2 or 3 distinct subway lines intersect. These subterranean intersection points are the new undisputed power centers of Tokyo tourism logistics. Securing a hotel within a 3-minute walk of an elevator entrance to one of these multi-line subway stations guarantees that you can traverse the entire metropolis, from the massive electronics retailers of Akihabara to the cutting-edge digital art museums of Odaiba, with maximum efficiency and minimal financial drain. Furthermore, this localized transit strategy perfectly complements the digital wallet revolution that dominates Japanese infrastructure in 2026. You no longer need to stand in exhausting queues at physical ticket machines, attempting to decipher complex fare charts in a foreign language. By provisioning a digital transit card directly onto your American smartphone before you even board your flight in the United States, you transform your mobile device into a universal key. This digital card not only seamlessly integrates with your localized subway navigation, But it also functions as the primary payment method for the convenience store breakfasts we discussed earlier, the digital laundry machines in your premium hotel, and the thousands of incredibly high-quality vending machines lining the streets of your perfectly selected neighborhood. You have now mastered the ultimate transit arbitrage. You have selected a premium hotel in a highly strategic subway hub, entirely avoiding the massive financial traps of outdated railway passes. You are navigating the city flawlessly, your budget is optimized, and your cultural immersion is profound. You spend an incredible 2 weeks exploring hidden alleyways, dining at world-class sushi counters, and experiencing the seamless perfection of Japanese hospitality. But all vacations must eventually conclude. The date of your departure arrives, and you face the final, most stressful logistical hurdle of the entire journey. Your trans-Pacific flight out of Narita International Airport is scheduled for 6 o'clock in the evening. However, the strict, uncompromising operational culture of your Japanese hotel demands that you completely vacate your room by 10 o'clock in the morning. You have an 8-hour gap, you are heavily burdened with newly purchased souvenirs, and if you make a single miscalculation during this critical checkout window, you will trigger a cascade of massive hidden penalties, miss your expensive airport transfer, and completely destroy the peaceful resonance of your trip in the final hours. A catastrophic scenario we are going to dismantle and solve in the final phase of this guide. In the United States, hospitality culture often allows for a relaxed and flexible departure protocol. If an American guest calls the front desk at 9 in the morning and requests a complimentary late checkout extension until noon, the request is frequently granted without any financial penalty or administrative friction. If you attempt this exact same casual maneuver in a Tokyo premium business hotel in the year 2026, you will be met with polite but absolute refusal. Japanese hospitality operates on a margin of logistical precision that directly mirrors the legendary efficiency of their railway system. Housekeeping schedules are mathematically calculated down to the individual minute to ensure massive high-rise properties are completely turned over and reset to immaculate standards before the strict afternoon arrival window. Consequently, the standard 10 o'clock morning checkout time is a rigid, uncompromising deadline. Historical trends and publicly available hotel policy data reveal that overstaying your reservation by even 15 minutes triggers automatic, system-generated financial penalties. These late fees are typically billed by the hour and can rapidly accumulate, sometimes costing up to 30% of your total nightly room rate for a mere 2-hour delay. You cannot negotiate these fees, you cannot charm your way out of them, and attempting to argue with the front desk staff will only result in severe, highly uncomfortable cultural friction. Consider the potential outcomes for a traveler named Richard, a corporate executive from Boston wrapping up his 2-week vacation. Richard has a 6 o'clock evening departure from Narita International Airport. He meticulously packs his 3 heavy checked suitcases, which are now completely bulging with expensive ceramics, delicate electronics, and heavy souvenirs. At exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, to avoid the automated financial penalties, he formally checks out of his hotel in the Ueno district. He now faces an agonizing 8-hour gap before his flight. Richard attempts to execute what he believes is a standard, highly logical travel maneuver. He drags his massive suitcases through the undulating, crowded streets toward the train station, intending to stuff them into the largest municipal coin lockers available, while he enjoys a final, relaxing day of sightseeing. However, Richard completely underestimates the sheer volume of international tourists attempting to execute this exact same strategy simultaneously. Every single extra-large locker in the entire terminal transit hub is completely occupied by 10:15 in the morning. Richard is now physically tethered to over 120 pounds of luggage. He cannot enter a cramped, narrow ramen restaurant, he cannot navigate a densely packed retail store, and he certainly cannot visit a quiet, respectful temple complex. He is forced to spend his final 6 hours in Japan sitting on his suitcase in a sterile, concrete transit corridor, consuming cold convenience store food, completely paralyzed by his own logistical failure. The peaceful, culturally rich resonance of his incredible vacation is violently shattered, replaced by sheer physical misery and massive travel anxiety. To entirely dismantle this catastrophic departure day scenario, you must execute a 2-tiered logistical defense system that begins a full 48 hours before your flight. The first tier involves the tactical utilization of the hotel front desk. When you initially secured your premium business hotel, our previous criteria mandated that you specifically select a property with a fully staffed human concierge, aggressively avoiding the rising trend of unmanned, completely automated digital kiosk properties. This human element is critical for your final survival strategy. In 2026, highly rated Japanese hotels will routinely hold your checked luggage in a secure, designated storage room behind the front desk for the entirety of your checkout day, at absolutely zero additional cost. You simply bring your bags down at 10 o'clock, hand them to the staff, receive a numbered physical claim tag, and walk out the front door completely unencumbered. However, this strategy still fundamentally requires you to eventually return to the hotel, retrieve the heavy bags, and drag them through the chaotic commuter crowds to reach the airport express train. To achieve absolute geographical freedom on your final day, you must implement the second, far superior tier of defense, which relies entirely on the Yamato Transport Takyuban system we utilized upon your initial arrival. 2 full days before your departure, you must pack your largest, heaviest checked suitcases containing all your bulky souvenirs and non-essential clothing. You bring these suitcases to the hotel lobby, fill out the specific airport delivery waybill provided by the concierge, and pay the remarkably affordable forwarding fee. The nationwide logistics network physically transports your heavy luggage across the prefecture and securely deposits it directly at your specific departure terminal at Narita or Haneda Airport. The potential outcomes of this advanced logistical maneuver are profoundly liberating. On the morning of your departure, you check out of your hotel carrying nothing but a lightweight, highly agile personal backpack containing your travel documents. But there is one final master-level criteria you must actively inject into your digital hotel selection process to ensure a flawless, stress-free exit, and that involves the strategic integration of the airport limousine bus network. While the dedicated airport express trains like the Narita Express or the Kisi Skyliner are incredibly fast, they inherently require you to navigate massive, complex railway hubs to board them. The airport limousine bus is a fleet of highly comfortable, premium motor coaches that bypass the railway station infrastructure entirely. When filtering your hotel choices during the booking phase, you must actively search for properties that are officially designated as direct pickup locations for this specific bus service. This is the ultimate highly coveted hotel amenity for the American tourist seeking a seamless departure. Let us examine a highly successful case study featuring a prepared traveler named Amanda from Chicago. Amanda applied every single metric of our comprehensive masterclass. She booked a premium business hotel in the Shinjuku district that featured residential separated wet rooms, twin bed configurations for maximum square footage, absolute non-smoking verification, and, crucially, a direct limousine bus stop in the immediate lobby driveway. 2 days before her departure, she forwarded her massive checked suitcase to the airport via Takyuban. On her final morning, she wakes up, enjoys a massive, high-caloric hotel breakfast buffet, and formally checks out at 9:45. She hands her one remaining small carry-on bag to the bell desk. Because she is completely unburdened and her airport transportation is scheduled to pick her up directly from the hotel lobby at 3 o'clock, she has 5 hours of pure, unadulterated freedom. She takes the local subway to the upscale neighborhood of Daikinyama, enjoys a meticulously crafted pour-over coffee, browses high-end boutique clothing stores, and secures a phenomenal final omakase sushi lunch. She casually returns to her hotel at 2:45, retrieves her small bag, and steps directly out of the sliding glass lobby doors and onto the waiting premium motor coach. The professional driver handles her bag. She sinks into a plush seat, connects to the onboard wireless internet, and watches the sprawling Tokyo skyline fade away as she is driven directly to her departure terminal. She experiences zero physical strain, zero navigational panic, and zero wasted time. You now possess a comprehensive, highly advanced architectural blueprint for conquering the complex Tokyo hospitality landscape. You understand that applying standard American geographical logic to the Japanese transit web results in catastrophic, exhausting daily commutes. You know exactly how to completely bypass the agonizing transfer penalties by securing strategic locations on intersecting Tokyo metro lines, rather than blindly clinging to outdated nationwide railway strategies. You possess the precise vocabulary required to avoid the claustrophobic 12-square-meter business hotel pod, and instead secure the incredibly comfortable, highly optimized premium tier. You know the exact cartographical strategies to ensure you do not accidentally book a room facing an aggressive, hyper-stimulating nightlife district when you desperately need a quiet, restorative sanctuary. You have completely insulated yourself from the hidden inventory traps of deeply embedded tobacco smoke, and you have mastered the precise logistical timeline required to bypass the brutal coin locker shortages and the uncompromising morning checkout regulations. Your base camp is now flawlessly established, fully optimized to protect your physical energy, preserve your financial capital, and provide a serene, highly efficient launchpad for your daily expeditions. The digital booking is confirmed, and your geographical positioning is mathematically perfect. But the exact moment you step out of that perfectly selected hotel lobby and attempt to consume calories in the year 2026, you will instantly collide with a completely different, exponentially more complex battlefield. The Tokyo culinary landscape is a deeply traditional, highly competitive, and frequently exclusive ecosystem that actively punishes the unprepared tourist. You cannot simply walk up to a highly rated restaurant, point to a menu, and expect to be seated. From impenetrable digital reservation lotteries and strict neighborhood dining policies, to navigating the unspoken, highly rigid etiquette of the late-night izakaya, your ability to secure incredible food requires an entirely new set of specialized tactical skills. You have secured the perfect room, but if you want to avoid eating cold convenience store meals for 2 weeks straight, you must immediately prepare for the intense culinary warfare that dictates the streets of Japan, a complex and thrilling reality that we are going to entirely decode, dismantle, and conquer in our very next comprehensive survival guide.